What's up, YouTube? It's Zach. I'm here again after a little bit of a college madhouse to bring you a new deck profile for the deck that, well, at least one of the decks that I'm going to be playing around a lot with for this coming format. It kind of brings me back to the first deck that I started playing again after I had stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. So, without further ado, I'm just going to stop talking and I'm going to get straight down to it. So, let's get to it. Boom. Blackwings. Let's see how this goes. 3 Shura, because Shura is one of the most broken cards in the deck. 3 Bora, because it pierces, and the Xyz power that you have with this card is just ridiculous. 1 Gale, because it's freaking Gale. I don't think I have to explain that card at all. Triple Clue, because it's back at 3 and it's really busted. It's better than Honest in the fact that it's searchable and you can play 3 of them, so get on its level. 1 Zephyros. Zephyros is really good in this deck for a lot of different reasons. He's really useful for Xyz plays. He's also really good for if you go Shura and attack and destroy something, bring out Clue while you have Zephyros in the graveyard. You can bounce the Clue back to hand to bring out Zephyros. So there's a lot of recycling that you can do with Zephyros too in this deck, which makes him really nice. And then double Surco, because he's a freaking man beast. Spirit Reaper, because I don't like getting OTK'd. And last but not least, Dark Arm, because it's Blackwings. Let's be real here. 15 monsters. Spells, I mean, staples. At least in terms of Blackwings, pretty staple here, pretty standard. Staple spells, pods, because you're not going to be special summoning like Madness all over the place, and then Avarice, because you will go through your monsters pretty quick, at least in this build. So there's those. And then the deck specifics, Allure, that's Black Whirlwind. I can't find my Black Whirlwind. It kind of bothers me, but it's not card save return. That's Black Whirlwind. And my personal favorite tech spell, Seal Void Kalkos, because you really don't need your extra deck to just beat the crap out of people with Blackwings. So Seal Void Kalkos is really great for putting down like Surco and Gale and just sitting there with a Gale and chopping people's attacks down and killing them over and over and over again. It's wonderful. Also makes the cards, my other tech cards that I have in here, extremely live. So Seal Void Kalkos, really good in this deck. It's 11 spells, I think. Traps, I mean, double Bottomless, double DP, double Fiendish, pretty standard in terms of like the back row stun. And then Mirror Force, Skill of Drain, Solemns, and Torrential. Again, pretty standard for the back row stun. Just kind of has to happen. And then Starlight Road, just to protect them all. I play 15 traps here, so Starlight's pretty good. Seems good. Seems good. And then, if I can pick up the freaking cards. Last but not least, and what makes this deck so freaking awesome, and what I actually named the deck after, I call this deck Bird Flu for a reason. 1 Deck Dev, 2 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Alright, so, Deck Dev, I'm only playing 1 because not too many decks right now have a heavy reliance on monsters with less than 1500 attacks, but it's really strong in the matchup versus Water and versus Wind-Ups for the people who are still trying to play Wind-Ups, so it's really solid there. Also, it's really solid if you can get Chateau off the field and then hit this versus Medolce. It's just brutal. And then the reason I play 2 Eradicator Epidemic Virus is because spells and traps are really big for a lot of decks right now. It's really solid in the matchup versus spell books. You just call spell and they lose. You against like a lot of stun decks now, you just call trap and you can't Starlight Road unless you have 2 face-up traps on the field, which is extremely doubtful. So you get off an Eradicator and they lose their entire back row. So this card is like playing 3 Heavy Storms plus the fact that it hits the hand. I don't play Icarus Attack in this deck. I don't main it. I would side it, but I don't main it because of the fact that these cards allow me to hit the hand as well as the field. So I'm already minusing myself by losing one of my monsters. It's the exact same thing with Icarus Attack. But I know that with these, I'm not only hitting what they have on the field right now, but I'm also preventing them from making plays for the next 3 turns, which is why I love these cards so much and why I'm playing the viral version of Blackwings as opposed to the Icarus Attack version. And I know a concern that a lot of people have expressed about this deck right now are saying that like these guys aren't really live that often. For one, like as I said before, I play the Seal of Orichalcos in here, which helps to liven these guys up a lot. Because you know it brings your Boras to base 22, Circo to base 23, or Circo to base 25, Sure to base 23, Gale to 18, Zephyros to 21. It does a lot for attack modification, and also these guys are really good to chain in the damage step when you just dropped a Kalu. So if you go Kalu on like your Bora or something, I can't tell you how many times I've done that and then flipped Eradicator right after that. It's a really solid play. So yeah, the viruses. Extra deck, Armor Master and Stardust, pretty standard for the synchros. I mean, Starlight target, and then you can also make it. But usually if I'm going to be syncing for an 8, I sync for this guy. Dark End Dragon is really good right now, and a lot of people don't consider it because of the fact that there are so many cards right now that are like anti-destruction, but Dark End doesn't actually destroy, it sends, so it gets around a lot of those effects, like gets rid of Garunix, gets rid of Zen Mains, gets rid of Maestro, gets rid of all that stuff, so it's really nice to have him as an option to sync into. Yeah, those are my synchros. And then Exceeds, I do play level 3s, as weird as that sounds, because there are times where I'll end up drawing a Gale and getting Cirque, or getting Shura, and then pulling out a Kalu with Shura. And then I have 2 3s on the field, and I don't play the level 6 Synchro, which I never really had a problem with. I play Leviair because Bottomless and DP are kind of stupid. Leviathan, just in case I need a big beater. Giga Brilliant is actually really good in this deck because it pumps cards to get them up for virus plays. So I play him. Tempo, in case I'm having problems with Exceeds, and Zen Mains if I just need a wall. So yeah, I am playing a lot of 3s for just one possible play, but I play them because I need them for the toolboxing. I don't really go to the extra deck that much, so when I do, like, I want to be able to have anything that I need. So that's why I play so many of those. And then the 4s, Beast Dweller, because you kind of need it right now. Evagishi Marogist, really underrated card. Really good, though. I suggest if you guys are going to try this out, that you try playing him because he's a really solid card. He's an anti-recruiter. Gemini Pearl, because he's giant and vanilla. Black Ship of Porn, because it's Black Ship, and it's really, really good. Maestroke, because it's Maestroke. Shockmaster, because it's Shockmaster. And Pappy, because it's Pappy. As far as the side deck goes, I don't have one per se assembled. Well, I have one kind of like ideally assembled for like my locals. I know, like, just for example, my locals plays a lot of water, so I have double Soul Drain. Yeah, like double Soul Drain, double T-King, Mind Crushes, what else? Just a lot, like, you can basically tech the extra deck out to cater to whatever needs you have to get out of your extra deck. You can play Icarus Attacks, whatever. But yeah, that's the deck. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, do whatever you guys do. Have a good day.